realistic thinkers remain stagnant. So just remember that, guys. Whenever you're thinking of doing something in life, or you think something's not possible, it is possible. Anything is possible. We've seen the
Hmm.
impossible be done. And don't think about being realistic. Think about being innovative. Think about changing things around you, because those are the real shakers and bakers. You know.
In other words, copy Elon Musk.
In other words, what?
No,
Copy
that's not.
Elon Musk.
I don't think that's what she was saying at all.
Yeah,
Because if you think about it, Elon Musk, he didn't necessarily change the world, so to say.
not yet.
He changed to,
Copy Elon Musk. LOL.
yeah, yeah.
Just got.
I mean, like what he did was he just took a lot of innovative technologies and pretty much enhanced them and made them cost effective. Really, you know what I mean? He was doing what needed to be done, and I think he's a hero. But I don't think he pretty much like innovated the way we live our lives just yet. Not until Neuralink goes live. And of course, I'm excited about the news coming forward from the Neuralink team next month. They're going to be showcasing data and a lot of trials and case studies on what they've accomplished in their human trials. So it's going to be epic, man. I can't wait to, you know, read that juicy data.
So you know what? Do you guys know
Hmm.
about Neuralink in the crowd? Because we actually talked about that last week. Do you guys all know what Neuralink is? So, if anyone doesn't know what it is, basically it's an implantable chip that can go to your brain, and it can, send signals, and people who like suffer with depression, it can help with that, so on and so forth. But something that I saw yesterday was that Neuralink has the ability to stream music directly to your brain. And that made me a little uncomfortable, only because Elon Musk said that it wasn't going to have any uploading capabilities, which, thinking in the world of tech, hacking is a huge thing. And if somebody was to hack into the Neuralink, that would be a disaster, because then they would be basically have access to your brain. So like when I read that, I'm just like, if it's streaming something to your brain, doesn't that mean it has uploading capabilities, which means like there is some way of like breaching the tech? I don't know. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but that's
No,
just a thought.
it's supposed to be a downstream of information, pretty much, and that's the thing. Like, it's not supposed to have upload capability. That's what he was saying before. But we'll get some clarification next month. I'm sure of it. I'm not
I need
sure where
some,
you
because
found
like
that
it's
article, but
strange
like,
about the streaming
yeah,
music.
yeah. I
Well,
think
he
that
said it, and there was a couple people who wrote an article on it, because he mentioned it, because he said they can stream music, but if it's streaming, wouldn't that mean it's uploading?
well, no, that would be downloading pretty much information because whenever you're streaming something, it's a two-way street typically. It's a two-way lane of traffic whenever you're streaming information. Sometimes you're sending data back to the servers based on your user experience, but for the most part, it's just a lot of down information, just a ton of down information.
So if it's like
So
streaming to my brain, it's downloading to it. It's not uploading.
exactly, pretty much. So the
Okay.
thing is that if hackers were to compromise that and rickroll you like 24/7 and stop you from sleeping because Rick Astley is just like blasting in your ear, well, in your brain, pretty much uh, rickrolling you constantly, that would be a nightmare for sure. I completely understand your concern. I mean, like that would be the ultimate troll to hack somebody's brain and just rickroll them for about 48 hours, like really loud. But still, I'm sure there's a way to like turn off these devices because it is Bluetooth enabled. There's no way for like somebody to just want to sleep with this thing on, you know? So, anyway, Jerome, are you just about ready?
We are good to go, guys. Time to live
Okay.
stream.
All right. So I guess I'll just do the intros. Hey guys, welcome to the Futurist podcast. My name is Annalise, and I am here with my wonderful co-hosts Patrick, Jerome, and our gaming expert over here, Brian. Today we will be talking about future topics and current events that are happening currently in our day-to-day world. Um, what story do you want to start off with today? Because I have a lot of stories, but we just mentioned Neuralink. For anyone who didn't catch, Neuralink is a technology that Elon Musk and his team have put together, and essentially it's supposed to help people with depression and things like that. It's supposed to help the chemical imbalances in your brain and send signals. We were just talking about the streaming of music to the brain, which I find a little strange. I feel like the pleasure of music is listening to it. I don't necessarily want it streamed to my brain, so just me like I mean, to like independently listen to the music, it's like you yourself are supposed to enjoy it, but like I don't necessarily like the idea of it just directly streaming to my brain. I kind of like headphones, but then you could also have the argument of that may reduce the cost of ear damage. Some people like to blast music on headphones and streaming it directly to your brain. Exactly. Some people love to blast music. They like to hear it louder. So I mean that's like
Think of that.
there's a lot of like arguments as to why this may or may not be okay. My question, I guess it could be ethical. I mean, if we're implanting chips in our brain, I guess it's deemed ethical. Whatever studies they've done on it, I guess we're okay with it. It's ultimately up to the person who's getting it implanted. But I mean, if it's helping people, who suffer from depression and have these chemical imbalances in their brain, and maybe it can help solve diseases. Alzheimer's
Yeah,
is something
Alzheimer's
that's
is one
huge.
that they're looking at.
Right.
Well, that
So
I
Alzheimer's
think
is
we're
caused by
a
like
little.
lack of oxygen to the brain.
Mhm.
And I mean, I guess this could help somewhat, but I'm looking to see where exactly this would take us, because Alzheimer's is a very hard disease to avoid when you get old age. But
For
you were
sure.
saying, Patrick.
Yeah, Annalise, I really think we're jumping to conclusions here when it comes down to it because the data is yet to be released. I think for the most part, this is just speculation at this current time.
Everything's
We'll see what
speculation.
happens. Yeah. So, how about this? Let's cover the Twitter hack, since this is news from Twitter, of course, and how these, uh, I believe, insiders in Twitter just so happened to get away with over
So did they
$100,000
ever
in
find the
Bitcoin.
person who did it?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that they already mixed the coins with Monero, so it's kind of out of the question of finding out who did it now at this point. But there is an ongoing investigation, but tracing the keys is going to be incredibly difficult. So in case you guys are unaware, Twitter was hacked and they bypassed two-factor authentication on very popular celebrities and pundits on Twitter. Like pretty much everybody you possibly know, the who's who are really famous and have a lot of influence, including rappers, singers, scientists, politicians, etc.,
There was a
were
hundred
hacked.
and thirty counts that got into,
Bro,
and I
I'm
was
about
Mhm.
told.
to leave, my God.
Sorry, I was told that somebody got access to one of Twitter's admin accounts. So like the people who go in the back end, they got access to that account and they were able to then gain access to all the other accounts through that. So they didn't necessarily like hack Twitter, but like they had access to an administrator's account. Which then leads to the question, because a lot of people are like remote these days, and Twitter's letting their employees like stay at home. But then it kind of goes into the question: should employees have access to everyone's back end, especially if they're like huge celebrities, without having like 2FA? Like I know for insurance companies, they have like tokens that they have to press and it generates a number, and then you have to put in the number to get access to this information. Whoever hacked Twitter didn't have to do that. They just had to log into the back end, and that was it.
Well, whatever happened just so happened to cause a lot of chaos and ruckus, and people lost a lot of money thinking that they were going to get money back in return. So it's
Last I saw
quite sad and
that
savage.
the number was $120,000, or was how much people had put in Bitcoin to this scam that got a lot of people's attention. And then, like he said, the hackers then turned that money from Bitcoin into Monero, which, if you're not aware of Monero is a privacy coin. So it's going to be very hard for the FBI and for the government to figure out where that money went as it got mixed up in exchange. So who knows?
Hmm.
We'll keep an eye on that and keep you guys, updated. Welcome. A lot of new faces here. This is the Blockchain Universe Crypto Quad. We do events in here every single day. Today's event is the Futures Podcast. We talk about everything that's happening currently and coming to the future. We are all here in the blockchain space, really dedicated to that technology. Some of us are gamers, some of us are doing different things in the space, events, so on and so forth. So, guys, definitely come back and enjoy some of our events. We host under either Blockchain Universe or Bits and Tokens. Let's go forward with some of the events that happened today. I'll go ahead and jump right into another segment that we talk about, which is streaming, game streaming. Specifically, I'm really interested in the cloud gaming world. For anybody here that's heard of Google Stadia, that's probably one of the biggest platforms when it comes to streaming right now. There's been a lot of updates that's been coming out with Google Stadia. I have it. I'm really enjoying it. Bunch of new updates that came out today. Some new features that have been in the works are now coming. We're finally going to get access to being able to play Stadia on our phones without Wi-Fi. I'm really excited for that, so I could be able to play on the go. I think that's going to be really, really cool. What do you guys think? Should we be able to have access to our games on the go from our cell phone without Wi-Fi?
I mean, that's the way that gaming and tech is moving. Everything is moving towards streaming. Every service that you know, even music shows, is streaming. Everything is streaming these days. So it's only natural for gaming to also go to streaming. Even games that you don't buy the disc and you have to download and it's mostly online. Like I remember when I downloaded Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it was like an 85 gigabyte game. Meanwhile, most of the game was via cloud, on the server. So that's just the way we're moving with gaming. Brian, I think you would have a little more input than this for me because you're a huge gamer.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to ask on his opinion or anyone in this group's opinion on whether or not considering using, playing it without Wi-Fi if the data service is going to be powerful enough. I know it was mentioned having, the best Wi-Fi, 5G or whatever you can get to be able to run it at moderate, graphic settings and resolution and frame rate. So I was wondering what type of
Well,
service you guys deal with that would be. Hmm.
currently I've been able to go on my phone, switch it to desktop mode in the browser, and then go to Stadia. And I have been successful with playing games on 4G. So of course 5G is going to be even better, less latency, better connection. But also on top of that, more and more companies are not stopping people with limits. I think that's been one of the biggest concern is, data caps, having people maxing out their data by playing. I think every hour of Google Stadia is about 20 gigabytes. So, and at least like you're saying, 60 gigabytes for Call of Duty, or if you play the new Red Dead Redemption, it's a 99 gigabyte game. You're talking about within 4 to 6 hours, that entire game download size would have been completed. But since you're not downloading the game to your phone, you're streaming the game. You don't have to worry about that 60 or 99 gigabyte download time, but you do have to worry about the data that's being sent to your phone, kind of like a YouTube feed that would be eating up your data, and every hour is about 20 gigabytes. So I could see where that's really going to eat up data plans. My data plan's only 12 gigs, so after about 12 gigs, I'm going to start getting throttled, and I could see where Street Stadia within 30 minutes, I'm going to eat up my entire month's worth of data. So I could see where this is going to be a negative for people that would try to use this, but I could also see where this may be a positive for people that want phone companies to push for data cap increases. How many people would love to have truly unlimited data with their cell phone data plan and not get throttled at a certain speed? Let me see some hands or some
I'm sure everyone. Nobody wants to be
hearts and
throttled or
emojis.
capped.
So I think that's hopefully where we're going as more and more people get into Stadia and start streaming games.
Torchlight 2 being available. It's a really chill game. You can play casually. It's a fun little action RPG. Really wonky, and it's got an awesome storyline. It's kind of steampunk based. So Brian, would you like to dive into the blockchain gamers digest for this week?
Yes, I would. Let me pop back open to the links. The first one being a game that Ubisoft has begun to back, Toron, which is made by the Zaya blockchain, is having their third treasure hunt event with over $10,000 in prizes. So you can go on their website and you can get a starter pack to begin playing, and it's essentially, the alpha. You go in and you test out new movements and new, different features that they added to the game. And
What game is
with
this, Brian?
Tauron, Tauron.io is both the name of it, and then .io is the website. Like I said, you can go on, enter your email, you get the starter pack, and then I assume I just got the email, but you would download the game. It's meant for low-end gaming computers, so really any like basic desktop or maybe a little bit higher end of a PC. So many people that have computers will be able to jump on and play. And some of the things in the alpha that help with the treasure hunt is that the amount of resources you need for crafting things, and the amount of items you need for blueprints and whatnot. The quests and activities in the game are a lot lower than they would be in the full version, so it helps you complete them faster and then gain the non-fungible tokens and other prizes and assets and whatnot that are going to be featured in the game. Of which, what they are going to be, I am not certain, but like I said, about $10,000 worth of prizes, so a good bunch, and I can't imagine more than a
You said how much
handful.
dollars worth of prizes?
10,000. So,
Ooh, that
everybody that
sounds
plays is
lovely.
probably
Also,
going to be able to get like, 20 at least dollars worth of some sort of crypto assets.
also,
Hmm.
Brian, do us a favor, buddy. Can you amplify your voice?
Is it not on? It says it should be amplified. I don't know if I'd be able to make it any louder than it currently is.
All good.
No worries. So that's really cool news. I think that's actually awesome that Ubisoft is diving into the space. And this might actually just be some sort of trial incubation sort of project, just to explore the possibilities of using this technology with one of their major franchises, such as Assassin's Creed, for instance. We shall see.
Yes, yes, that
How
we
many
shall.
Assassin's Creed fans do we have in the audience? Any Assassin's Creed fans out there? Awesome. All right. Any other blockchain gaming news that we have, Brian?
Yeah, there's another one. Game Credits is partnering up with OpenSea, so you'll be able to purchase assets from that website with game credits. And I just started checking out the website. Apparently, it's got ways that you can go and earn tokens through, it looks like playing some games, Splinterlands, Chainbreakers, etc. Different games that are free to play on the blockchains where you can I assume do activities and earn tokens. I just saw the article, so I haven't been able to dive too much into the platform, but it definitely seems interesting and another form of, way to be able to get some different assets on, the main website still, as far as being able to trade your, blockchain items from any different game, which is cool that it's giving more variety to it.
That
Let's
sure is
see.
cool, and I think it's cool that they're partnering with OpenSea. I know recently they had partnered with Digitable, and I think actually did a merger with that group. So really fascinating stuff that Game Credits is doing. I know that they've been around since 2014, one of the first blockchain gaming groups to really create a game-focused blockchain cryptocurrency. So if you guys haven't heard about Game Credits, definitely check them out. I know that
Mhm.
they're currently working on creating a list of champions that they're calling them, people that are going to be kind of doing like a esports type of league for blockchain gaming. I know they're really focused on some blockchain card-based games at the moment, which I think are pretty cool. Do we have any card gamers in the audience? Anybody play any card games? Okay,
Nice.
okay, got a hand up over there. Got some
Hey,
What
cards
so
games
up.
do you like?
Sage
Sage.
and
Sage is
Assistant.
cool.
mhm.
Awesome.
So speaking of which, OpenSea, in case you guys are unfamiliar, you can go to OpenSea.io. It's pretty much an open source NFT based marketplace, which NFT stands for non fungible token that exists on a blockchain, and it's just representing specific bytes of information that can be transferred from a request for comments. That's all it really is. And these comments can be virtual real estate inside of VR, in such applications such as Somnium Space, or they could be a collectible digital card, kind of like from Splinterlands. So yeah, I recommend you guys check out that site. It's really neat. Yeah, it actually showcases the possibilities of blockchain technology and the gaming sector when they collide.
If you guys are into art too, that's a good place to go. A lot of
Mm,
artists put their stuff on there too. If you guys are into digital art.
yep. So, in other news, one third of game developers, have had their games delayed due to the coronavirus, sadly. And this does include Cyberpunk 2077, once again. So they're currently
It's delayed
posting,
until
Unfortunately.
like November, right?
Yep.
yeah, I'm so
I
sad about
really
that.
hope they
I'm
get it
so sad.
ready before the end of the year. Like they can't push it any further back than November. Like December would be way too late for this year. I really
Hmm.
hope that game comes out this year. And a lot of us are really excited for Cyberpunk 2077. Anybody else in the audience looking to get Cyberpunk 2077?
Oh
All
man,
right.
that's what's up. So,
Yeah, it's a cool game.
uh,
I'm excited for it to come out. But yeah, a lot of things are getting
course.
delayed.
Yeah, totally. Games that most people weren't even expecting, such as Iron Man VR, got pushed back. Death Stranding got pushed back, and the
Yeah, I was
Mafia
playing the
got
beta
pushed
the
back
other day.
too.
Have you played the beta, Patrick, for Iron Man VR?
I have not. Nope.
Oh
I
well, the
want to
full
though.
game is out now. The beta was right before the game came out, but the full game came out July 3rd. I've been playing it for the last couple weeks.
Oh, I got pushed back more. Okay, I guess the full game is out.
Yeah,
Just kidding, guys.
really? Whoa.
Yeah,
According to this
apparently.
article, it's saying that it was pushed back. It's been delayed, but I'm
It
glad it's
was.
on the
It was
market right now.
delayed
So,
from first it was supposed to come out in February, then they pushed it back to May, then they pushed it back to July.
Ah,
okay,
I
so
see.
it is out now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I stand
Okay, that's
corrected.
cool. It's a cool game.
Hmm.
So I guess I have played the full game. The full game's actually really cool. Um, it's neat. You just have to make sure that your tracker is on you properly, because if not, like
Hmm.
the camera will bug out. It's PlayStation. It's an okay game though. It's fun.
Hey, I think that these developers should start embracing the idea of early access for their fan base, just allowing the fans to beta test the game instead of just keep pushing it back and roll out patches. I'm sure some people would disagree with me. It's a hot take, but I'm currently playing a game that's in early access right now that I got on Steam today called Mass. I believe it is Mass Builder. Yeah, so it's like a mech style game, and it's not fully complete yet, but it's so good. It's called Mass Builder. If you like games kind of like Gundam, or I'd say anything that has to do with robotics, like giant fighting robots and saving humanity